Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Dahlia and today we are back on my, what do I call this? My abandoned, haunted summer camp island? Wormwood, I guess? Well, it's a working title. Anyways, I hope you guys are excited for today's video. Thank you guys so much for the love on the first build on this island. I'm really excited to work on it, and I hope you guys enjoy as well. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let's just get started. So today we're gonna be working in front of the plaza and kind of like this general area. So it's kind of a transition build and then also a main build, I guess you can say. So it's kind of a mix of both. But yeah, this is the area that we're gonna be working on, and I'm really excited because I got some inspo. I was looking on Pinterest for some ideas for the builds and like trying to figure out how I kind of want to lay out this island. I feel like for this island, I do actually probably have to lay out my builds because you guys know me. You know I don't lay out my builds. I don't plan stuff in ahead. Like I have ideas. I kind of know generally about what I want to do, but I never actually plan out the layout of my islands.
Phoebe,
What?
do you have a plan?
I don't even have a plan.
And for this particular island, I think in order to build everything that I have planned in my mind, which I have a ton of ideas, I probably have to be a little bit more I don't know, organized and actually like plan ahead. So this is like still in the not planning ahead not planning ahead time, but we're gonna start planning ahead. I knew what this build was gonna be, and I knew from the last video that we were going to be moving off to the right side as opposed to the left, I guess. And I knew what this build was going to be because this is one build I had in my head when I first started planning on what this island was going to be. But yeah, we're doing, as you guys can probably tell by the title and the thumbnail, we're doing a campfire area. And this is one of those like generic like summer camp in my head, I think. Builds where like they have this really big campfire area where everyone gathers around and like roasts marshmallows and hangs out, and it's kind of like that big area. I'm actually, now that this is me like thinking out loud as I'm saying this, a part of me is wondering if I should do another bigger campground area or campfire area, because this one ended up being a little bit smaller than my initial plan, and I'm actually really happy with it. But I feel like maybe a bigger one where like it looks like something happened at this particular section might be a good idea. And by something happened, I mean like it kind of looks like a crime scene type of vibe, because like I said, this is a haunted, abandoned summer camp, and all the children mysteriously disappeared from the summer camp and no one knows what happened to them. So there's like a mystery to be unsolved, or unsolved, a mystery to be solved. But yeah, so we planted a bunch of trees. You guys saw I placed the leaf path down. Every custom design I'm using so far on the island will be linked in the description if you guys are curious. But I put the leaf path down, and I'm using this leaf path as not only an actual path, but also a ground for like underneath builds. And you'll see me put down the DK trees. I'm going to be using the DK trees on this island for sure. But as I was working on this build, I also decided that I wanted to use a couple of the other fake tree items that we have in the game, including the I'm gonna write the word on the screen. That one, and then I wanted to use the giant vines as well. So you'll see me incorporate those in the next couple of minutes. And the reason I'm choosing to use those particular items is because a lot of this island is, now that I'm kind of like settled on this idea, I'm gonna have this island, the dream address, take place when it's foggy. And a huge part of the fog aspect of Animal Crossing is that it gives this really pretty silhouette if you're further away from the items, obviously, and it's kind of distorted. And I like the fact that I'll have taller items kind of like mixed in among the trees. So when you see the tree lines, you also see these really big twisted vines, and then also the baobab trees.
Oh, you! An idiot sandwich.
I'm saying that wrong, and I'm just going to embarrass myself by repeatedly saying that incorrectly, but you'll see me as I place them down in the next couple of minutes that it just creates this really cool silhouette. And I wanted to do something more than just the trees. Like, I wanted it to be a little bit more unique. I did the same thing when I did my jungle city island, because mixing these in with the regular trees just gave obviously more height to spaces and to big builds like this, but also it just looked really cool. And unlike my jungle island, which was originally supposed to take place and have like a foggy dream address, this one I'm deciding to do the fog in my dream address, so it's gonna have that really cool like silhouette type of idea. So right now I'm just placing the trees and the wheat fields and the shrubs and everything, and then I'm transitioning over to the giant vines. You'll see just like it looks really cool. It looks really tall. A part of me, now that I'm finished this build, kind of wished I had moved it a little bit further down and away from the plaza, because as you can see, I placed the fencing to block off the plaza so you can't see it. But I feel like if I had this entire build a couple of spaces down, it would, I don't know, work a little better and like hide the plaza a little bit more. But at the same time, I wanted this right in front of my plaza, so I'm not too mad about it. But like, you know, I'm always gonna find something to complain about. But anyways, now we're working on the actual campfire area. This one I already knew exactly what I wanted to do. I did a nice mix of the outdoor chairs and the log benches. And the reason I chose the log benches, I was gonna do the wild logs, but you can't put any items on the wild log benches. So I decided I'm also, so like in my previous build, I was still kind of like deciding what items I was going to use, and you'll see in today's build I started incorporating some different items as well, including like the drop snack item, because I wanted this to feel like kids were here and like fully abandoned the area. They left uneaten food and, you know, just things like that. Like, just kind of give this illusion that it legitimately is like an abandoned campground. I'm also using like the decorative bottles, apple juice, of course, though, not any alcohol or anything inappropriate. And something else I've decided to use, I'm kind of experimenting with, is I put the campfires in between the trees. I mentioned in the last build that I really wanted there to be like lights kind of flickering in between the trees, and I originally had used the oh god, what are they called, the lights, I can never remember what they're called. This item right here.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb.
I was originally going to use those, and I put them like on top of some of the log things, and I changed my mind, and like I put them on top of the mush logs, but like they barely gave off any light, so I felt like it was just easier to change the item, so I ended up changing it to the campfires. And I also used another item today that I completely forgot existed, and that would be the this is my problem, my brain is not working today. Oh my god, what are they called? My brain. Where's my brain today?
I may not have a brain, gentlemen.
Can you guys help me find it? The leak campfire. Thank god it just came up on the screen. I forgot that this was an item. Not because I forgot that it was an item.
Huh? What?
I just forgot that it existed for a little bit.
Oh. Okay.
And this is gonna be like the perfect item. I wish you could walk over it. I mean, obviously I can understand why you can't, because it's like on fire, but this is gonna be such a cool item to use on like the side of the woods, like in between areas, or like kind of like just randomly placed on like the path, because like how cool is it to just have like like leaves on fire. It gives like this really haunted kind of creepy illusion. It's another light source to use in like the foggy areas that like actually gives off some light. So I don't know, I'm really excited to experiment with that, but it's like, it's silly. But when I remember that this was an item, I'm like, oh my god, I can absolutely use this in this build. And like I've used it a couple of times, like kind of like throughout creating like fake like little campfire areas, but I use like the one that had the marshmallows on it. So to use just like the leaf campfire as like in this way is like different, and I'm excited to use it. So anyways, back to the build. I created that giant area with all the trees below here that you guys saw. I just quickly added the additional fake trees and the shrubs and wheat fields separately. And now we're working on this area. Now this wasn't originally supposed to be a part of the build, but I'm gonna be having a couple of areas scattered around the island that doesn't have like a ton of trees or furniture placed, but I'm still kind of learning how to like just not add items to areas and just to leave it blank. Today I did not do that. I decided to do a very simple little picnic area on the table, and just add a couple of additional items you would kind of probably see next to a campfire area, and just to make it feel like a couple of kids were hanging out here and then once again they went missing, you know. And something else I'm bringing into this build that I'm going to be using a ton of is once again these plain wooden shop signs with the warning signs scattered around. So in this particular build I use quite a few, and I'm actually going to be doubling or tripling up on them and placing a couple of them together that you would see kind of similar to what you would see when you did if you do like if you were to see like warning signs in like the woods. So you would see like a bunch of do not disturb, do not enter, danger, go away, kind of like scattered.
Warning! Warning! Warning!
In like one area. And I wish we had like a bulletin board kind of item that you can place a couple of different signs together on, but this was the next best thing, and it kind of worked quite well. But yeah, and then here I am trying to incorporate the decayed trees back into the build. I do end up actually using them in today's build, and I'm also using some toy cockroaches, which are another item that it's not like I forgot that it existed, but when I remembered that it was a thing, I'm like, oh yeah, this would be perfect for another little dropped item. But for the decayed trees, I feel like they'll be great for a couple of these more like empty spaces that I'm thinking of, because it'll give like the illusion that these areas are like more like dead, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of experiment with like these different items. And decayed trees, I've only used them kind of once or twice in other islands, but for this particular island they're just gonna work perfectly. I really wish that there was a bigger version, like a taller one that kind of looked a little bit more like barren, but I'm making it work. I'm doing what I can, and it's looking good. So we're coming up towards the end of the video. I love how this build turned out, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed as well. If you are not already, make sure to drop a like on the video, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, you know, all that fun stuff. I'm really excited to continue working on this build, or this island. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.